Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Christopher and Steven here again with another episode of Show Tuesday. Happy Show Tuesday, wherever you are in the world. Please let us know what you have in your cup down in the chat. Kanpai to all of you out there. Kanpai,
Kanpai.
Steven. And we have a kind of a short episode today because I got to run
Yeah,
at like
you
the
can
quarter hour. But
you can tell me Christopher has a tie on at 10 in the morning that he's got business.
I got to go. Yeah, I got to be
Yeah,
out of here.
yeah.
So we're
Well,
back to face on all this stuff now. So there's a lot of
true, true.
comings and goings.
Yeah. As to what's in my glass, just a little shout out to Rec Coffee, one of our local coffee shops here in Fukuoka. I have their holiday blend, which I picked up recently. So it's a
Nice.
nice little richer, little more body than what I'm used to drinking. I usually do like light, flavorful sort of things that do well with ice, but since it's gotten colder, I'm drinking my coffee warm. So that's good stuff.
Yep. Only way I do it.
Yeah.
So let's kind of tick through these so that we don't get down it. Let's try not to find a rabbit hole, a wormhole, or any other type of hole too quickly.
Sure.
What do we
Well,
got? Booze
yeah,
news. I guess
booze
that's
news,
the
I
main
think
idea today.
it is. I mean, the big one for me is the wine enthusiast drinks trends. We haven't actually done this in the past, and I think we should kind of think about like yearly recaps when we're coming to the end of the year. We do that with the podcast,
Yeah.
but
Right.
not with the live stream. So I think with the live stream,
True.
maybe we should start doing that in the future, and maybe we'll write up our own for next week or in the next couple of weeks. But for now,
Yeah.
we can just share Kara Newman's in Wine Enthusiast, which I thought was interesting. I'll go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and share
Yeah. Go
my
for it.
screen. Let's see.
Karen Newman was just in Japan recently, down on a Kyushu
She
tour. So
It
she's
is drink trend predictions
okay.
in
There it is.
2023. Yep. So this is
What do we
Kara's
got?
predictions. It's not just her. I think it's a group of folks. uh, Number one, she thinks there's going to be more guilty pleasure cocktails, um,
Okay.
which I think is an interesting idea because there's some cocktails that fell out of favor for whatever reason. Like it wasn't cool to drink such and such. You had to drink Negronis or Amaro based cocktails or that
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. And
Yeah.
things like the Harvey Wallbanger and the Long Island iced tea and the espresso martini, these things all went away, right?
Yeah.
Well, now espresso martinis are back. And so I
They are
think
very,
the
very
point,
back.
yeah, exactly. So I think the point here is maybe some of those other sort of cocktails that fell out of favor will come back around. And that's what happens with trends, right? Drinks always come back around. There are very few cocktails that never leave the scene, right? I think the martini might be the lone exception of a cocktail. It just always stays because somebody's always going to need a dry cocktail if they don't have a sweet tooth.
Hmm.
But apart from that, it tends to be kind of sort of cyclical. Then the second one is low and no alcohol drinks will command
Mm.
attention. I think this is
Sure.
already happening.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of this. There's so many now, like zero proof spirits, right, that are being used
Yeah.
as mixers in non-alcoholic cocktails, which I think is a good thing because sometimes
Mm.
you want the experience of a cocktail without the booze or with
Mm-hmm.
very little booze. And I
Mm-hmm.
had an absolutely fantastic uh, zero alcohol cocktail when I was in Portland. That really was eye-opening for me
Mm.
because when I'd had them before, they just felt like fancy shrubs or fruit punches or things like that. They didn't really didn't have the body and the nuance that I have come to expect from really well-made cocktails.
Mm-hmm.
And this one did. It was at is it Tabiki or Tabiki, I believe,
Yeah.
in Portland, which is a concept izakaya. It's actually run by the Snow Peak Group. Really fantastic bar team there. Jim Meacham is their national drinks director, which is kind of cool. That Snow Peak,
That's
which is an
huge.
outdoor lifestyle company, has their own drinks expert on staff. But yeah, so great cocktails there, and their NA offerings were really cool. So I can see that as a trend. Um, Number three, the ascent of agave spirits will continue. This one I'm a little more skeptical on. Of course, people love their agave spirits, but we're running out of agave, so I don't know.
Yep.
Ooh, I could have turned off pop-ups, but I didn't. Okay. Um, so of course, they're going to continue to become more and more popular as people discover agave spirits, especially mezcal and the different varieties within. I think it's going to continue to to grow as a category. That makes sense. And then tied in with that, they're saying including tequila-based RTDs, which is a cool idea. I hadn't actually thought about the tequila as an RTD base, something in a canned cocktail or in a pre-bottled cocktail. But that's an interesting thing. I'd be look forward to trying something like that, not having had one in the past. And then, of course, with inflation, the $20 cocktail is not going away.
Oh, hell no. Yeah.
No, I think it's here to stay. I was really surprised at the shift in pricing in cocktails in the States over the last couple of years. Between new laws in different markets that have increased wages, the minimum wage in different cities, for example, that are up to $15 minimum wage, plus cost of goods, right? With
Cost of
inflation,
goods went through the roof.
Yep. Yeah, you've got what is it here? It says alcohol sold by retailers has risen 3% and it's sold at bars by 6%. So there has been inflation in the drinks industry, and that's going to be passed on to the consumer, of course. And the other thing is a lot of consumers are now expecting higher quality base ingredients in their drinks. Right? We're long gone are the days of pre-batch frozen margaritas with syrup and some well tequila. You've now got people wanting higher quality spirits and higher quality ingredients in drinks, and that's going to drive up prices as well.
Sure.
Yep. And this is a funny one. Inflation may also fuel martini madness, which I think is true. You get a lot more booze in a martini than you do in other cocktails. At least it feels like it. You get there quicker. There's a reason. One of the reasons I think martinis have never gone out of style is because they are a great cost performance, right? You've got, you get the alcohol that you're hoping for with fewer drinks ordered.
Yeah.
They do pack
gin and
punch.
vermouth. Yeah. Boom.
And especially if you order a dry martini, right?
Because then there's almost no vermouth. It's great. Yeah. Cut one of the ingredients.
Yeah, that's right. And this I don't know anything about. I'm not on TikTok, nor will I ever be on TikTok. They're saying you'll find your drink inspiration on TikTok. I don't know. Have you spent any time on TikTok?
I have tried. I do understand that you go where the future customers are, so that's going to happen. I don't think there's any doubt about that. That generation is certainly, if they're not already, on the cusp of drinking age. So, Yep, get to them while they're young.
Yeah, it looks like there's whiskey talk. There's drink talk.
Yep.
Cocktails.
Sure.
I mean, we might need Shochu talk. We'll have to come up with a clever way to do that. And I will make an account if you will actually post things on TikTok. I will
not. No. I have my own account. I'm just learning the culture. I don't have time to participate. I don't have time to deal with what we already have. So, them's the breaks.
Twitter might be going away. So
no, it's not. Twitter's not going anywhere. Sorry, it's too important to too many people.
And of course, the reason that we decided to highlight this article, it could be the breakout year for Shochu.
Yay!
Christopher said Kara was just in Japan. I think her new appreciation for the category, coupled with the fact that New York just changed their liquor licensing to allow Shochu to be sold with a beer and wine license if it's 24% alcohol or less, could certainly play a role. I think there's a lot more going into it than that. I don't think it's just the New York law that's changing it. I think bartenders are aware, bartenders are interested, and that's going to create interest in the category, which is fantastic news for us and for Shochu lovers everywhere. Bar pros will find the spotlight. I think this is really referring to the fact that we now have, there was the first sort of celebrity bartender competition on Netflix, right? There was a series called Drink Masters, where they, bartenders competed for the best cocktail, just like chefs would compete for the best whatever to win, Top Chef or the Iron Chef or whatever cooking show it was, right? So I haven't watched the show, probably need to, just to see what people are thinking and how it's going. But yeah, it's bartenders are becoming the new chefs, I guess, in a way. Right. So that's an interesting one. Now this one is funny to me. Wild space exploration will inspire the drinks world. I'm not exactly sure why this came out as one of their options, but what's so funny to me is the first time I came to Japan, I'm sorry, the first time I visited shochu distilleries, they were all talking about their space yeast.
Yep.
Do you remember these?
Yep.
There were these
Yep.
shochu that were made with yeast that had been to outer space,
Yep.
and that was a little thing that happened. What, about a decade ago now?
It probably was a good 10 years ago now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't really see those bottles anymore, but the for a while you'd have little spaceships on the labels, and
The
they
one
might be
place
kicking
that I've
around.
seen them recently was at Oyama Jinshichi. When you go into their you go upstairs. They have this really beautiful kind of rick house with lots of pots in it, and then there's this upstairs area towards the back on the far side of the building, and there's kind of a museum up there,
Hmm.
and they have a bunch of the documentation and other things from probably the town hall that
Hmm.
showed where shochu was being produced. It showed the property lines and everything from many years ago. And they have
Sure.
old bottles and other paraphernalia, and then they have that series of space. I believe it was them that had a bunch of them up on one of the beams, and it was like,
Okay.
oh yeah, that was a thing. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but not really for sale, right? Just being memorialized, I guess. Right.
Oh, then yeah, they're not for sale right now. Those are like probably some of the last bottles that still exist, honestly. So they're
Right.
kind of relics.
Yeah, I remember Satsum Isuzu had a little display in in their uh, their their gift shop at the end of their
Sure.
tour. You know, you do that walking through a tour through their
Right. Yeah.
visitor distillery, and then you get to the end, and there's all those different displays. And I just remember there was like this big display with like, I don't know, maybe I'm making this up, but I feel like it was like an anime dog wearing a space helmet riding on a rocket ship as
Very
the,
easily
you
could
know,
have been. Yeah.
on the poster to promote their their shochu that had
Yep.
gone to space basically, which is, you know, it's gimmicky, but it's kind of a fun little thing to think about when now that commercial space travel is becoming a little bit of a thing, even if it's only the very well heeled who can afford to do it.
Hmm.
Um, you know, we'll see where that goes. Maybe that's not a 2023. Maybe it'll take longer, but fun to think about. But yeah,
Mm,
that was a fun little article of drinks
definitely.
trends. I like the shochu one best. I think that's the most likely to come true.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely. So I'm kind of, as I said before, tight for time. So maybe if
Yep.
is there any other important news or
I think that was the main thing, was this little drinking trends. I think
okay, that
um,
was cool. I like that.
yeah,
Maybe we can do top three each for next week
it's
or towards the end of the month.
it's kind of the thing where when you start to appear in articles like that, that's where you feel like shochu as a category is sort of it's made its place. It's
Hmm.
starting to make its place. It's got a foothold, which
Yeah.
we weren't even there before.
Nope.
We were knocking on the door and nobody was answering for years,
Hmm.
and now it's getting into stories like this, right?
Yep. Yep.
Which is cool, and hopefully it just continues. It that you know the and I you know between you know we did had the tourist sorry the journalist over here, Kara, among them, and then you know I just keep getting other writers reaching out to me and wanting to come visit Japan and
Hmm.
come see me in Kyushu.
Yep.
And it just keeps, you know, now that Japan's reopened, I think everybody's got a taste for it. Everybody wants to get over here,
Yeah.
and you know, hopefully that just continues to spur more and more interest
Irashai.
in. Yeah,
Come on down,
exactly.
folks.
Yeah.
Yep.
So cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
How about newly opened? You want to skip to that?
Yeah. Sure. I had bought this. I think the other bottle I opened that I shared last week. I'd also bought during Golden Week and kind of put it in the
Forgot.
closet and forgot about it. And this is the same thing. I'd seen this. I think this was released just a few weeks before Golden Week, and I happened to find a bottle. This is the Mars Malted Cosmo, and it's the Manzanilla
Ah.
cask.
Oh,
And
okay.
I had seen it. I think I probably had seen Mac post about it on Kanpai Planet, or you know, maybe
Yeah.
just it might have even just been a tweet or a Instagram post. I don't think he's done an actual review of it. But I saw it and I picked it up. I love the packaging. It comes in this green box. It's
Yeah.
got this really lovely shaded green. It's almost like the color of a it reminds me of like a British racing green Jaguar
Hmm.
E-Type, like
Mm-hmm.
an old British racing car. And it's lovely. It's obviously Manzanilla, so it's a sherry cask finish. And the thing with the maltage is their blend. It's not single malt made in Japan. Now there might
Hmm.
be some Japanese malt in here, but it's also probably imported from Scotland or other parts of the world to make these blends. But Mars has really learned how to do this well, and I think they're often overlooked compared to the other world blends, and they tend to be more affordable. Now this one is gone.
Yeah.
I looked it up recently. It's only available secondary market, and it's probably going for 2 or 3 times more than what I paid for it in May. But I would just suggest people look out for them. You know, when you see a Mars bottling that seems reasonably priced, they're worth picking up. They've become really, really good drinks.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
so I'm very impressed with what they've done as a distillery. I know I've sung their praises before, but um, yeah, cool. How about you? You got a newly open?
Yeah, I got, and this is partly because I did spend time on two different occasions drinking with the Komaki brothers. So I have a bottle of Komaki Silver, Issho
Oh,
Silver,
nice.
and yeah, happened to be out walking around Tenmonkan this past weekend and bumped into Komaki Shacho. It's
Hmm.
like, hey, so we went out for a drink after that, 2 drinks, maybe 5 drinks, and yeah,
That
great
happens.
sweet potato shochu distillery
Yep.
up in Satsuma, and
And the
yeah,
Isho
always a pleasure.
Silver is that the standard for the Isho line, or do they have? Is that
I
one of the
think they have a
special
regular
yeasts?
Isho too. Yeah, and they have the bronze, uh, silver, bronze, regular komaki as well.
Hmm.
I need to sit down and revisit. They also have the komaki beni, of course.
Okay.
So what's the standard? That's a really good question. I'm not sure what they consider to be
Right.
like the regular one. I think it's just
Right.
komaki, maybe.
But is the silver, is that a special yeast? Do you remember? Because I thought the at one point the bronze was being made with beer yeast, or maybe it was a or a Isho Gold, something like that. It was explained to me at one point,
Yeah,
long,
and
long
you
time
know
ago.
what? Me as well. And I don't recall.
Okay, no worries. If it doesn't say it on the label, then
Doesn't. No, it doesn't say anything like about any special yeast.
gotcha.
Yeah. So I guess silver is the one that it's got good funkiness to it. I like it. A
Yeah,
little bit of
nice.
truffles on there.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, always nice to drink a good funky sweet potato shochu. So
You bet, without a
good stuff.
doubt. All
Well,
right.
let's get you
Cool.
out the door.
Another short
You
one.
got
Yeah, I
work to
got to
do.
run. Sorry, everybody. Thank you for chiming in and being here. Um, James, your comments over on YouTube, we definitely saw them and appreciate you. And we will. That's a good way to think about it, kind of like we do on the baseball podcast, actually. So yeah, next week, same
Yep.
time, same place, 10 a.m. here in Japan. Steven, what do you got?
Yeah, one quick announcement. For
Uh
the
huh.
50th episode of the podcast, we are going to be doing a Q&A episode. So if anybody has questions, please contact us through social, preferably either tweet at us or direct message on Instagram or Twitter. I'm not sure that we'll see Facebook or YouTube comments. So if you can contact us that way, let us know what your questions are. We'll try to answer them on the 50th episode coming up at the end of the year. Oh, and we
Love
have a
it.
new episode out. We had
Oh, we
we,
do.
we we released the Uncanny Shochu episode, which is a little bit of a wander through all the weird stuff that shochu can be made from. That was fun. So
Yeah.
that's out. Sorry. Yeah,
All
that was
right.
part of our business. I'd forgotten.
I think that was supposed to be. I thought there was supposed to be one or two other things. All right.
Okay,
So
cool.
thank you very much for joining us, and from both of us here in Japan to all of you out there around the world, a very hearty and heartfelt kanpai.
Kanpai.